She doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat.
During the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
Wait a minute. I'm talking now. If you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. What you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Quiet, please. She's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years.
I realize that.
He should have been saying that over and over and over again at the very beginning, at literally every time. Just keep saying it every time, and it would have been devastating. And he just didn't. And there were so many specific things he could have said, low-hanging fruit on everything. This presidency is an abject failure. Her vice presidency is an abject failure. He didn't. I think he winged it last night, and I think it showed. And the one good saving grace is this: the independents. We are still looking good with them, and that is incredibly. That's so heartwarming to me, because we lost last night, but we didn't lose the independents and the people that matter, because they do still know. They know him, and they know what his policies are because they lived them. And they do know her policies because they lived them too. In fact, listen to this woman on CNN last night. This is so amazing. Independent panelists on CNN. This is devastating.
Was actually going to make our country better. And we're in an incredibly unique situation where we've had both of the candidates in office before, and we've gotten to see what they would do. And when facts come to facts, my life was better when Trump was in office. The economy was higher, inflation was lower, things were better overall. And now with Kamala's administration, things haven't been so fantastic. And she's saying she can fix the problems that her administration has caused, but I just don't know if I can afford to take that risk.
Honestly, Trump should put that in a commercial and just put independent voter, after first debate. It'd be incredible. And at the end, I'm Donald Trump and I approve this message. There's good news, as I was mentioning, and here it is. This is from New York Times, Reuters, and CNN. Undecided voters say Kamala did not seem much different from Biden, and they wanted change. One voter said she didn't kind of separate herself, and she was still on the fence. A black woman in Milwaukee told the New York Times Trump's pitch was a little more convincing than hers. When Trump was in office, not going to lie, I was living way better. I've never been so down as in the past 4 years. It's been so hard for me. Shut up and vote for the Democrats. Shut up and vote for the Democrats. It's working, is what she's being told by Kamala and Joe. By Kamala. A voter in Arizona told New York Times Trump had the more commanding presentation. There was nothing done by Harris that made me think she's better in any way. Reuters said out of 10 people they interviewed who were unsure who they're going to vote for, 6 said afterwards they would now either vote for Trump or were leaning towards backing Trump. Reuters found Trump converts said they trusted him more on the economy, and they said their personal financial situation had been better when he was president between 2017 and 2021. The New York Times and Reuters stories also they followed CNN's flash poll showing that the margin of voters who trust Trump over Kamala for the economy grew, as I've been mentioning to you too, by 2. He went from 50, I think it was 53 to 37. He led for the economy after that was before the debate in a flash poll from CNN. After the debate, he went up 2, she went down 2. Stunning. So now he's 20 points ahead, according to the independents that CNN polled. And that's just amazing. ABC News' Rachel Scott said this, and ABC News hates Trump, as you saw in the debate last night. Here's ABC News' Rachel Scott after the debate.
Vice President Kamala Harris did not do a great job today really explaining her policy shifts, right? And that is what they have been seizing on. They're really trying to define her for voters when voters have a lot of questions about her policy positions.
All right, look at this. Here's what Reuters says the independent people they interviewed said. I still don't know what she is for, said a 61-year-old entrepreneur in Florida. Going on, it says she focused much of the debate on attacking Trump rather than laying out detailed policies. An 48-year-old security firm executive in Nevada was leaning towards Harris before the debate. He now says if the election were held tomorrow, he'd vote for Trump, largely because he thought Harris didn't provide clarity on her policies. I felt like the whole debate was Kamala telling me why not to vote for Trump instead of telling me why she's the right candidate. Amen. They're seeing through it. Thank you. I was devastated last night and bummed. All right, 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Who do you track with more with last night in the debates? Who did you track with, and do you track with more as far as Kamala or Biden? Excuse me, Kamala or Trump. Who did you track more with last night as you were watching it or listening to it on WBAP? And then did Trump win you over last night, even with his poor debate performance, or did Kamala? 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. 4 lines open. Tate and Burleson, WBAP.
Yeah, I was leery at first about Vice President Kamala Harris until the debate. From the outset, when she stepped on stage and walked towards him and shook his hand, she commanded the stage. She embarrassed him in front of the national audience. And people can sit there and claim that things were better 4 years ago, but that's not facts. We were on lockdown. We had to wait in lines for groceries. Unemployment skyrocketed to 14%, and when he left, it was 6.5%. And she should have emphasized that, how things are much better now than they were 4 years ago. But nevertheless, she baited him, and he took the bait, and he fell for it, and he collapsed on stage.
Okay, a couple things. I believe I've heard you calling in to the show before, which I appreciate, and endorsing Kamala. So I don't think you changed your mind. I think you just solidified what you already been believing, that she's the one you're going to vote for, right?
No, actually, I hadn't called since she'd been nominated she took the position of the Democrat Party.
Okay, now, number 2, your facts are wrong. The last day Trump was in office, inflation was at 1.4%, and the average cost of a mortgage was $1,700 in America. She drove inflation by casting the tie vote with Biden on 3 major spending projects that cost $2 to $3 trillion of money, and she was warned by 2 top Obama economists, do not do this. One was Mark Furman, and the other one was it'll come to me in a second. They're the top economists for Obama's 8 years, and they both said, "Don't do it. You're going to cause inflation," and it happened. So you had inflation rates that was at 1.4. They put it up to 9.1 2 years later. A year and a half later, they brought it up to 9.1 all these spending, and it's still more than double it was on the last day of Trump's office. Gas is a lot more expensive today. Energy costs. I'm going to read to you. I have a list that is shocking and terrible for most of us to hear on the numbers. Here, let me read it. Here we go. Hold on. Here it is. Food is more than 20% than when Trump was in office since he left. Housing is more than 23% since he left. Gas and energy is 50% more. Auto insurance is 55%. And then a CNN pollster who would asked who would handle the economy better. Before the debate, Trump was up by Kamala 53 to 37. After the debate, it went up 2 points in Trump's favor, 55 to 35.
And so after the debate as well, the CNN poll said that Kamala Harris won. I didn't mention inflation. I mentioned unemployment. When he left off, when he gained office, it was at 4.9. When he left off, it was 6.5.
Okay.
Again, we was on lockdown.
Okay,
do you think
is lockdown because of the coronavirus or because Trump's a dictator and he shut the whole country down for no reason?
It was because of his policy when he dismantled the pandemic response team. He did not take COVID seriously. He talking about it was on 15 cases.
Okay.
Soon there'll be 0, and then we had thousands of deaths, jobs lost because he did not take it seriously.
Was it bipartisan lockdown? Did you hear Democrats saying we don't want the lockdown, or did you hear them agreeing with it and passing legislation?
He was the president of the United States.
Yes.
He should have took.
When's the last time we had a pandemic?
President Obama had a pandemic, an epidemic, and a Great Recession. Yes, he did. He dealt with H1.
Not the slide.
He dealt with Ebola, and he dealt with the Great Recession.
Yeah, no, a pandemic is, the definition of a pandemic is not what Ebola was in this country. It is not what swine flu was. The numbers are astounding. How many? I did look it up. H1, the swine flu and Ebola did not kill 1 million Americans, did it?
I didn't say killed 1 million Americans. Mm-hmm. It was a pandemic. He dealt with a pandemic, an epidemic.
No.
And he dealt with the Great Recession when he came into office.
Ebola was not a pandemic. Ebola was in Africa, and it was showing up here.
Look it up, sir.
Yes, I absolutely will. It was not a pandemic. According to the World Health Organization, it was an outbreak.
It was a pandemic,
Okay,
sir.
so you know more than the World Health Organization. I got it.
No,
Thank you. No, I got it. Thank you. Appreciate that. You need to take over the World Health Organization and the CDC. It was a virus and it was an outbreak, but it was not a pandemic, according to our CDC and according to the World Health Organization. So our official government said it was not a pandemic, and the official World Health Organization for the world said it was not a pandemic. So, and you can pretend like we didn't have a pandemic at the time. That was the first one we had, I think, since 1905. But everybody knows the truth, and you can convince yourself that, but nobody needs to explain what they know. By the way, no answer for the economy is the number one thing. No answer. The jobs numbers he was talking about are also false. The jobs numbers were revisited and readjusted for the 2023 spring to 2024 spring. Almost 1 million jobs less. Number two, those were COVID bounce back jobs from the shutdown that was a bipartisan shutdown. Number three, this is the worst and most horrifying thing that Kamala and Joe have done to this country. 40% of all jobs are from illegals. Kamala and the Wall Street Journal did a lengthy piece on this that I shared with you the other day. It was devastating against Kamala and Joe. The illegals have not only flooded the market for literally the illegals that Kamala has brought over, and Joe are more than double the percentage of our people that have no high school education. They have 23% of the illegals that they brought in here have no high school education. 12% of Americans have no high school education. They are suppressing, according to the Wall Street Journal, the wages of the people who have no high school education or on lower skills, which are predominantly disproportionately African American and Hispanic people and white folks, but predominantly black and Hispanic people are suffering the most. Secondarily, our educated, including our children, for the first time ever, 5 generations in this country are all working at the same time. And the top of the ladder, they're not going anywhere towards the top of the ladder for the jobs, whether they be the top jobs or just the jobs that are at the top of the ladder for most of us people. They are not going to the younger people who usually are climbing up, because the older people are still there, because Kamala and Joe have made them keep in office. We have the highest number ever on record of people working 2 full-time jobs in America. 500,000 of Americans are working 80 hours a week at 2 full-time jobs to get themselves alive. This guy can say what he wants, but your lying eyes know the truth. His lying eyes know the truth, and we all know it. And that is why Americans and all those independents for Reuters, New York Times, Fox News, and CNN all say he is much better on the economy, even after she won that debate last night, which she did. There you go. All right, Diane in Seagoville, Trey and Keller, plus your call. Who did you track more with in last night's debate? And did Trump win you over last night, even with his poor performance, or Kamala?
Well, you know, when you don't win, it's like a fighter. When a fighter has a bad fight, gets knocked out, or loses the fight, the first thing he says is, we want a rematch. So we won the debate according to every poll, every single poll. I think that, are we going to do a rematch? I just don't know. But we'll think about it.
Okay, that was very interesting, wasn't it? If you were Trump, I want to add this to the fold right now. If you were Trump, would you do a second debate after last night? If you were Trump, would you do a second debate last night? He's toying around with it, and I think he already knows whether he's going to do one or not. It's really interesting, isn't it? She kicked his butt. I'm not going to lie. She had no substance, but she kicked his butt stylistically and handling herself and acting more presidential than he did. She baited him, and he took the bait every time. Every piece of cheese she left out for him, he ate. Every piece of cheese ABC News, who hates him, let out for him, he ate up. Should he do another one? Add that to the fold right now at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Let's go to Trey and Keller. You're on WBAP.
Hey, Chris, first-time caller.
Well, hold on a second then, and you get a little something special.
Uh-oh.
Welcome to the show.
Right on. Thanks, man. I'll be quick. And I by far am not the best public speaker, and you can probably give me a better point of view on this as well. Her cadence, if someone was feeding her some kind of information, or she had a bug in her ear or something like that, her cadence might have been a little bit off, or she could.
Right. No, she wasn't.
Again,
yeah.
Nothing like that. And again, I haven't heard or listened to her speak a whole lot, so I couldn't compare to other times she spoke. But again, obviously, Trump's off the cuff and not prepared. His is a lot more. He's bang, bang, bang,
right.
bang. Hit those bullet points.
Right.
But her just cadence seems to be a little bit off, and that's kind of where my head was at. But I'll leave it at that.
I appreciate your great call. What, do you have more?
Yeah, man. No, I was gonna say, and I think he should do another one, man. He should actually, do a little prep work. Now he has a little bit of ammo to fire back at her.
Yeah.
At least just do your homework.
And he can actually put the work in this time and win and beat her solidly and squarely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just like he puts his work into everything else. He hasn't got where he is by being a dumb man.
Yes, and by the way, last thing is, should he allow the mics to be unmuted so there can be a cat and dog fight?
I'm really undecided on both sides. I think it could be a hindrance to both. It could hurt. It could help or hurt both of them.
She wants it. She wants to do I'm speaking, and be all nasty and vile to get him baited.
Keeping cool heads, man. Just to sit there and figure out your argument. That's how you got to be smart about your argument.
Great call today, Trey. Keep it up, my friend. Grateful for your call, Diane in Seagoville. You'll be next on the Chris Crock Show on WBAP. I promise you. We're gonna continue to ask you this: should Trump do that second debate or not with her? She's ready to do it. It's interesting how curiously she did it so fast. Isn't that interesting? That must mean she has more to gain than he does. Ha ha. And therefore, should he do it? We're going to continue exploring that. You're going to hear a lot more, though. You're going to hear more independent pollsters. A great little debate for a montage of the debate last night, too. Next at 33 after the hour, Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. I did watch all of these pieces of video. I didn't detect the sarcasm, lost by a whisker. The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi. But
look at that disgusting 5-time fact check in real time when none was done for Kamala and all of her lies.
The detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing. What did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
Every one of those was a big fat lie. She knew it. ABC News hosts knew it, and we knew it. But he did not. Trump did not. He fought back on some of like the completely debunked false narrative that he said there's going to be a bloodbath on. It's all about the auto industry, a bloodbath in the auto industry if he loses the election, which is true. Look at Stellantis. Kamala and Joe gave Stellantis I think $2 or $3 billion or $4 billion, some of that nature. I think it's $4 billion, and they shut down plants and announced they're laying off 4,000 workers. Or was it 2,000? I don't know. It's 2,000 or 4,000 workers in Michigan. So that's what Kamala and Joe get you. Kamala had a $52 billion internet thing that was passed under Kamala and Joe, and she was put in charge. It was getting the internet, rural broadband, internet. 0 people have gotten it. 0 cities have gotten it. Nobody's gotten it, and not one dime has been Well, actually, nobody's gotten it, and it won't be for at least another year and a half or 2 years at least, which means it's 4 to 6 years, and they still haven't done it. It doesn't even take effect after they're voting this in the first year, I think, of their administration. You won't see it for 4 or 5 years later. There you go. That's Kamala. That's a Kamala we know, and that's why the polls, even after the debate last night where Trump did not win it, the pollsters interviewed several independent people, New York Times, CNN, Fox News, and Reuters, and everybody said overall of the independents that, in fact, Trump would be much better for the economy. In fact, Trump increased after the debate, funny enough. Let me take a quick second. Today's
I think we'll do fine.
Today is September 11th, okay? And it's important to mark the date when the terrorist attack hit the World Trade Center towers and took it down, and in Pennsylvania and in the Pentagon. I want to say something, though. Kamala, literally, I've played you audio on the air. I've got it in my files. She literally told an audience at a mosque that the term radical Islamic terror and radical Islam should never be said, should be banned. We should never say radical Islam or radical Islamic terrorism. I can pull it up and play it for you. She said it publicly. It's all over the place. Number two, she also said the term illegal immigrant should also be banned. That was at a mosque when she was speaking in California as either Attorney General or I believe it was the Attorney General. That's who she is. It was radical Islamic terrorism that killed almost 3,000 Americans. Here's Donald J. Trump, when every Democrat loved him, kissed his butt, and took pictures with him. All of them did, right? Every one of them. All the celebrities loved him. Here he is walking down the street in the middle of 9/11, and he was interviewed by many press people, and this is what you got to hear. This is beautiful, and I wanted to share this with you.
Fine. I think we'll do fine.
Donald, what do you think about all this? You're a developer. You've built buildings all your life.
Well, there's never been anything like this. It's disgraceful, and I hope we attack fast. I hope we find out who it is and go fast. Okay.
Why'd you want to come down here today?
I have about 100 men working down here, so just to spur them on. Hi, folks. Hi, folks. I have over 100 men out, and I hear doing an amazing job, so I just want to give them some support.
These are men from here in development?
Yeah, men from my company. We have another 100 coming in a little while.
And how long have they been down here?
They've been down here for about a day and a half.
What, have you talked to other developers? Are they donating their time, their men's work?
Well, I hope they are. I haven't really focused on that, but we have a lot of people coming down here and a lot of people down here now, and they're brave guys. A couple of them got hurt, but I'm just want to spur them on a little bit.
What did you think when you heard about this?
I was just down to Ground Zero. Ground Zero is a disaster. I've never seen anything like this. I hope we act very quickly. I hope we find out who did it and act accordingly and quickly.
Do you have any plans to donate money to the Widows and Children's Fund for the fallen firefighters?
I've done it over the years, and it certainly sounds like a good
idea. Okay, that man is a treasure. He's an American treasure. He is a jewel. He's brilliant, and I absolutely love this, and it gives me goosebumps that a man like him with his talent and his resources and his riches cares for people, and the untold stories you don't hear about people that he helps and cares for that don't make the news because he doesn't want them to. It reminds me of a story. I interned at WABC Talk Radio, which used to be our sister station in New York. We sold it, 5 years ago or so. I don't know when it was, but Rush Limbaugh was there, and I interned there, and I got to know a lot of people that worked directly with him. And you never knew it. I should say the late Rush Limbaugh, but you never knew it. But when people like the man I interned for, who was doing at the time overnights at WABC Talk Radio, Curtis Sliwa, he is the guy that founded the Guardian Angels. Remember the Guardian Angels? They still exist. They do the Red Berets, and they guard the subways and stuff. They're unarmed, but they guard the subways and stuff to protect people. Curtis needed a high cube. It's like, what a high cube is? It's like a quarter semi or half semi or something. I don't know. It's like a quarter semi. I don't think you need a license to have that special. Anyways, he needed one, and Rush just bought it for him. And he did. Nobody ever said anything. Nobody knew it. Nobody knew nothing. He just did it. and he wouldn't let anybody say anything about it. 'Cause that kind of stuff. That's how Trump is too. The resources they have are great, and the talent is great, and they care for their employees. And there you have it. What a beautiful thing to play on 9/11. It means a lot to me. It almost brings tears to my eyes. For the hell and the horror and the pain and the trauma that we face as a nation, to see a leader like that guy come in there and say, I'm in this, I'm with you, and I'm here. I went to ground zero. I got my people here. They're working. It's just beautiful. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel proud as an American, and grateful for the people that are very successful in this country and that they share and they bless others. Not all do, but he does. Okay, more debate stuff. Sorry I got off on that, but I saw that and I had to play it for you. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Do you think Trump should do that extra debate? And you heard the fact-checking there. It was only done on Trump and not on Kamala. And really, I think the best theory I heard today was that the press is so angry and mad at CNN for doing a good job with Biden and Trump that this is their way to get back. And David Muir and the other lady, whatever her name is, we're going to destroy him. And they did. And they did it with such craft and glee. While they pretended to be serious and acting like they're serious. And she lied and she lied and she lied, and they didn't say anything to her because they want her to win. Let's go to your call. Let's go to Diane in Seagoville. Diane, you're on WBAP. Hello.
Hello, Chris. I believe this is I'm a first-time caller with you as well.
Well, then hold on a second. This is amazing. Hold on. Why won't my little here? Hold on, wait.
Well, that's all right.
Welcome to the show.
Is that a ship horn?
That is the goal horn they shoot. They set off when there's a hockey goal.
Oh, yes.
NHL.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Stars, yes. Okay. Anyway, thank you for taking my call. And it's hard not to do small talk like you guys told me, but I just love that you support Kids Beach Club. We do it out here at Seagoville Elementary. And
God bless you. God bless you. Are you a volunteer?
Yes, my church, First Baptist Seagoville, yes.
That is beautiful because people need to understand that Kids Beach Club doesn't just give a kid a Bible and say bye. They have people from churches like you that partner with Kids Beach Club, and they supply the Bibles, but they mentor these kids and teach them character through God's Word. And you are the critical ingredient, and may God bless you for that, Dan. I appreciate that. Go ahead with your point.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned 9/11. Well, back 9/11 brought this nation together, and then the Obama and Biden administration has just split us apart again. Mm-hmm. So it's going to take Trump to put us back together, and I fully believe that he should not do another debate. He should not give that woman the time of day. She is not worth it at all. I could not hardly stand her smirks, her swallowing so much when...
Yeah, she had like dry mouth and swallow. Yeah, she was uncomfortable sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, very much. And every time he caught her in a lie, she just couldn't stand it. That's when her nonverbal went crazy. But those earrings, I didn't do a fact check.
No, they weren't hearing aids.
Okay. So, but why is it all over Facebook? They just did it?
Because people don't know what they're talking about and don't check on their own. Yeah.
Right.
Newsweek is a conservative publication. It used to be liberal, and they said, no, it's not. They fact-checked it. So.
Okay, great. All right. Well, it's all over the place. But anyway, we don't need that. We don't need her, and definitely don't need her. So, no, he should not give that woman time of day.
Part of me thinks he should, because now he knows how to whip her butt, and now we know that he can't just phone it in. And if he does and he whips her butt, then it's good.
But you know what they're going to say? Well, he's a bully. You know how they talk about him anyway. You're fired.
I think it depends on who's doing it. If it's Fox News, I would do it. But
yeah. ABC was so biased.
And I think he's got to say, you had your friends. Now it's my turn to get a fair debate with Fox News. I will do that, but there'll be nobody else.
And what you said, that he needs to continually repeat. You get it, go back to the White House and
rinse, wash, and repeat. You've been in for 3.5 years. Why didn't you do this 3.5 years ago? Great call today, Diane, and thank you for serving these children. All right, brother. Ma'am, thank you very much. Okay, Ann and Garland and Pete in Fort Worth. Pete's next, and right after that, back-to-back, you guys, right out of the box. Stand by. That's in 3 minutes at 48 after the hour. Chris Crock Show, WBAP.
A detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing. What did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
Lie after lie after lie. No fact check from ABC, but that was to be expected. Trump did not get her on most of those and did not stick to the script that he should have stuck to, which is rebutting her so many times and actually going on the attack more. So he didn't land many punches. She landed a bunch, even the fake ones, the lies. I'm not happy about that. Wanted to ask you this, though, too. As we sit here and discuss multiple different things, we're also talking about whether Trump should do a second debate or not. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I'm on the fence because I think he needs to kick butt and take names and win this. But also, you know, I think I came to terms, though, with our last caller. I think she helped me get it right. And that is to say, Fox News, yes. Other ones, no. You've had your rigged debate. You got it. And now it's time for a fair debate. Fox News or no debates. You want it? Fox News. That's it. He did say today on Fox and Friends this morning that he does not want to do... he refuses to do... he doesn't want to have Martha McCallum and Brett Baer do the debate. That's wrong. He just says he wants Jesse or whatever. All those, they all are in the tank for him, like me. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have me do it. No, I think Martha and Brett are very fair. Martha skews to the right for sure, but she's very fair. And they were both fantastic journalists. They really are. So Trump is just mad probably because they said some things he didn't like in the post-debate coverage. You know that's what it is. All right, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Who are we going to first? Pete. Yeah, Pete in Fort Worth. Hello, Pete. You're on WBAP. What's up?
How you doing? Big fan, like your show.
Thank you.
Let me say a few things and then comment on you calling it. One, he has to smile. I mean, if you didn't know who these people were last night and you just looked at the TV, you'd be like, why is this man on the left so grouchy and bad looking?
He was angry.
She tells lies, but he was so mean and just like pissed off the whole time. And if you can't smile, don't do the... like pissed off look. It was horrible the way he was doing. I was like, damn, smile, please.
Right.
It's so bad.
Great point,
and
brother.
Here's another thing. Words have consequences. Like when he said, she said the first day, I'm going to do a bunch of executive orders. When he said I'll be a dictator, it's easy for him to do that. He doesn't have Kelly Conway. I don't know who his campaign manager is. I'm going to talk fast, get through
Kelly's great.
I know. Well, look, last time she told him he's the only person that he would listen to. You don't say this, do this, don't do that. And he won, but he won't listen to nobody. And sometimes he says stuff like, that. And then when he said the bloodbath thing, you don't use that word because certain words, they'll come back and use it.
It's okay because he was talking about the auto industry. She's just lying about it.
Well, I know, but you make it easy when you use those words. You make it easy for them to take it. Don't use those type of words, and that's where Kelly would help them. Don't use the word because it comes back.
I just disagree with that because it was about the auto industries, and it will be, but that's okay. All right. Anything else, Pete?
The last election, I think when they brought it up, he should have said, that's last election.
That's exactly what he should have said.
He went down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
He went down the rabbit hole. He just should have. That's last year.
Exactly
no comment.
Right.
Next question.
That's exactly right. But
they got him. They got him
because he let them get him.
Right. He evaded them, and he should have said that's 43.5 years ago. That's old news.
Perfect.
Well, you said this. Next question.
Perfect.
He went
call.
down the rabbit hole.
Yep. Or he could have said, I've made my feelings clear. It's time to move on. I'm not going to take debate. Next question. And that's it. Annie and Garland, then they look the fool, not him. Annie and Garland, WBAP. What's up?
Well, I don't think he should do another debate with her because she's a woman. Women are emotional. I'm a woman, and I know how I am.
Well, didn't he kick Hillary's butt twice?
He did. And she's a woman too, and she's the one that worked with
allegedly
Kamala.
More of a woman than people say Michelle Obama is, or Michael.
Woman scorn. woman scorn, and she just wants to get him. She doesn't care about our country. She just cares about being the president. You can just see it the way she walks around. I totally think that he should focus on maybe some of the getting some of the things right that she got wrong, and just work on
study. He should have studied a lot more.
Yeah, I don't think you should have another debate.
All right. I appreciate your call. I think that it feels negative when you say that. Not that you're meaning to be, but to me it's like, we sucked and we shouldn't have another debate, like Eeyore or something like that. That's not how we should be, and that's not how I want us to be. I think Fox News or nothing else. That's it. I think he just says you had your people that are rigged. Now it's time to have a fair debate.